Well, I'm now with Shawn Larson, who has quite a title, and let me tell you, the guru of all things with the touchscreen. He is the Data Application Specialist on Voting Equipment and Logistics. Shawn, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Are the touchscreen units safe?
The touchscreen units are safe. We test them before and after every election, and we make sure that they're working in full order before we send them out for every election. We make sure that they're running properly and they count votes accurately. So yes, they are safe.
Well, how are they different from voting on a paper ballot?
It's different from a paper ballot because on a touchscreen, when you make a selection, it is what it is. There's no chance of overvoting on the ballot. It'll let you know if you're undervoting a race. In that way, it's different from a paper ballot.
Talk about the electronic poll books and how do they work in conjunction with the touchscreen units?
TS unit is a touchscreen. And as far as the poll books, it's an electronic poll book. So when a voter comes to vote, they go to the check-in table. The check-in judge will look up their information on the electronic poll book. And the poll books are encrypted with the same key as the touchscreens. So when they issue their voter access card, that voter access card has the ballot style on it. So when they take that card to the unit and insert that card into the unit, their ballot comes up. A lot of people wonder if their personal information is on that voter access card, which it isn't. The only thing that's on that card is the ballot style.
Can you take us through the steps of voting on a touchscreen unit?
Sure. The first thing that happens when you insert your card into the TS unit is the instruction screen comes up. And basically the instruction page shows the voter how to vote, how to make a selection, how to deselect. It shows them if they want to enlarge the text, they can do that, or if they want to remove the colors, they can go to high contrast. So when they hit next, then their ballot comes up, and at that point they can make their selections. Like I said earlier, they can make a selection, they can deselect it. There's a race that has a vote for no more than 3, so if you vote for 3, it doesn't allow you to overvote. And then once you're done, it takes you to a summary page. And on that summary page, it allows the voter to look over all the selections that they made. And if they want to make a correction, they can. Or if they're satisfied, they can just cast ballot.
How long do you have to place your vote?
Technically, on the touchscreens, you can vote for as long as you want. As long as you're making selections and pressing options on the touchscreen, you can vote for as long as you want. However, and this is important for Maryland voters to know, since this year there are going to be a lot of questions on the ballot, so there's going to be a lot of reading. There is an internal clock that's ticking on these units. So after about 2 minutes of complete inactivity, meaning if you're just looking at the screen, you're not making any selections, it's going to go to a completely different screen where there's going to be a clock ticking down from 30 seconds telling you you're about to be timed out. You do have the option to resume. There's a resume button you can press that'll allow you to continue voting. However, if you don't hit that, then the clock will tick down to 0 and your card will be canceled. If that does happen, you do have the option to reissue that voter another card because they never cast a ballot. But 2.5 minutes is the time frame, but as long as you're making selections, it restarts that clock, so you basically can vote for as long as you want.
Well, how does a visually impaired person use a touchscreen?
Yes. Every polling place that we have has one touchscreen unit that's specially equipped to handle a visually impaired voter. So when a voter comes in who needs a VIBS unit, is what we call it. VIBS stands for Visually Impaired Ballot Station. If a voter comes in and they need a VIBS unit, they'll just let the check-in judge know. The check-in judge will encode that card for a VIBS unit, and typically our 0 unit is the VIBS unit. So they'll be directed to that unit, and they'll insert the card into the voting machine, and at that point the screen will go blank. There'll just be a little button in the center that says audio in progress. Those machines have a headset and keypad already plugged in for a visually impaired voter. So while they're voting, there's an instruction, there's a voice telling them how to vote. The touchpad is like your regular touch tone keypad where they have the 5 and they navigate through that 5. So they're able to make selections, deselect, go forward, go back, cast a ballot, all on a keypad.
Shawn, thank you so much, and thank you for all the information on how to use the touch screen. And for anything else that you'd like to know about absentee ballots, to be an election judge, or also to volunteer for the office of the Board of Elections, you can always visit their website at harfordvotes.info, or you can visit their Twitter at harfordvotes. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford Magazine.